All right. I'm doing these back to back. You don't know that, but I'm recording three, four of them. Number two for this. Welcome back, chapter five, right? Sexuality, pleasure, arousal, and response. Why do we? Uh, why is sex so much fun? I guess I don't know. It should be enjoyable, right? If sex isn't enjoyable, there's at any rate. We're going to talk about some things. And again, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Right, so, again, here's your assignment. Now, this works. I'm not going to talk about it again. Um, we have sexual pleasure is right since the beginning of man, right? Because sex is also procreation and how we keep the species going, right? So, one of the reasons I guess they made it pleasurable is so that we will keep procreating. Um, there's the Karma Sutra, which is still around today, the world's oldest sex manual. Hindu background, and people still use this, still read this. And then this came really bouncing back in the 60s, 70s, etc., when the sex became a little bit more open. Anyway, sexual pleasure is certainly it goes with our sexual well-being. Of course, there is incredible impact, cultural impact on how we enjoy or perceive sex, right? So it can impede our pleasure or uh, uh, expand our pleasure based on our culture and sex. Right? And again, I say this and during a lot of lectures. If you believe your culture doesn't impact you, again, you're naive at best because it's happens when you're young. It happens subtly. And so you don't know. We don't know we're being shaped. Right? Like you don't even know if you're being shaped right now by whoever. So here's Psych one should have made you hip to this. So how do my personal needs, what do I need to get out of sex to make it pleasurable for me? One of those things we talk about is how do I express that to my partners, make this known? Do I make it known? Do I do I just bury this part of me? This is all to be healthy. I need to be able to express this and get what I need to make sex pleasurable. Uh, some people say practice, use a journal to figure it out what it is. You don't know what you like or don't like. Experimentation, just like any. So some things you will enjoy and some things you won't. What you can culturally, there may be things like you're challenged to try because of upbringing, because of the influences, because point of view. Uh, and but always trying to expand that and grow as a human being. Doesn't mean you have to do it again. You may never do some of these things again, but you should, at least consider it. Then we talk about how arousal and response, right? So, you walk into through campus and you see somebody and it's like, oh, you're attracted to that person physically. That's your type, right? So that's the start of the of arousal. Right? Oh, girl's cute. That boy is cute. That's the start. Where it goes, like you can do that 100 times a day and never interact with someone. You'd have to be. That's how we start. Then there's flirting, right? We may have some fantasies. We may have fantasies with people that we never interacted with, all kinds of things. But it starts with that visual. And then we get to Eventually, at some point, we'll get to a touch. And all these different things, our erogenous zones, wherever we are touched, where that get us sexually excited. How does our senses work? I mentioned pheromones, right? The smell that we send off a scent. Um, and that's why they sell thousands of perfumes and body lotions and all that stuff. We either like that stuff or we don't. Or we like a certain one. Right? So, uh, same thing. So, um, they talk about food, but you say oysters. Although I've eaten a lot of oysters, I don't know that it made a difference. Talked about pheromones earlier, right? Here we are. So then, like, how do we get excited, right? We have thoughts, we have fantasies, all that kind of stuff. And then these are the models. So Masters and Johnsons, we talked about them earlier and how they advanced the research, sexual research so much, right? By observing people during sexual act, right? And so this is what they came up with the E4 model, right? Excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution. And so they just describe it in four ways. This is how it starts until I come to ejaculation or orgasm. Uh, this is just again. Here's Kaplan and Basin. Uh, this is just other models. There's just three stages of desire, excitement, and orgasm. Questions. There's Bassin's how females respond to sexual stimulus. And of course, orgasms, which is, the final product, I think, of successful sex, right? I guess. There's all kinds of sexual techniques and things that, you don't, intercourse is not the only way to produce sexual satisfaction. I guess. Masturbation, obviously, still viewed as some as taboo, but is normal to most people, you know, especially in childhood. Like this is a discovery in masturbation. Whether you continue to do it is a personal choice. Typically, people start by masturbating. So, there's nothing wrong with this. This is a sexual practice that is viable. Kissing and all the layers. I talk a lot in some classes about relations, right? Our relationships are like, and I've done it here, right? Like the onion, we have the family, the community, but the bigger things, right? And so the different layers of kissing and what it means, right? Like I kiss my daughters on the cheek. I don't kiss my wife on the cheek typically. My daughters and my nieces, etc. I kiss them on the cheek, right? If I'm going to kiss them at all. My wife, I kiss on the lips. Sometimes it's sexual and sometimes it ain't. How often do we have sex? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody, some people brag about this more than others. Who knows? Oral sex, anal sex, oral anal stimulation. There's all types of behaviors, right? Uh, Anal intercourse. This was due. Uh, I don't want to get into politics. It's still a true state. It's a true statement. Political implement aspects of it. Positions, missing position, all this, all these different things that we can do to enhance our pleasure. Like I said, if you don't try it, you'll never know what you like. So here it is. What's your position? Same thing. What do we think about? How did you come to realize your own sexual and emotional needs when it comes to activity? How, what do you focus on in your sexual thoughts and fantasies? and what gives you the highest level of pleasure. So, and just um, very important topic, right? Like this is a big part of your life to be sexually um, pleased, sexually satisfied, builds relationships and self-esteem and your own health and your own well-being. I guess I encourage people to just find out